Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Target Zone Talks on the Null Zone. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. Ncuti, Gatwa, Spews nonsense, and apparently the script for the finale. Yeah, folks, the script for the finale apparently has gone missing, and we will be discussing that in just a second. I've just actually realised that I shouldn't actually be streaming here. I should be actually doing a member stream. So bear with me for a second, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email. I was busy today and last night. I haven't had much sleep in the last 24 hours, but this won't take a second, and then we'll get straight into what we have to get into. So we managed to actually get the two panelists on. So now you are in for a treat, because obviously normally it's reserved for members. But we're moving the movies on to Sunday night. I'm after having a word with the lads. So I'm sending an email to my two panelists. I'm about to send me second email if my phone will bleeding open up. So just let the lads know. And there we go. And that's sent as well. Now just let them know. And we just have to go up here. And now, right, so I've informed them if they come on, brilliant. If not, my bad. But as I said, I've been distracted and a little bit busy, folks. Sorry about that. But while we're waiting to see if my panelists do come on, it's obviously short notice, so that's on me. We will get straight into it, but just before we do, we got a few people in the chat. So Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars in MCU. We've got Nicholas Horton also in the chat. We got Chris Persia also joining us in the chat, and YW2324 is also in the chat. Right, so we've been having some success on the other channel, sharing these links or these articles on screen. So I don't want to state, but we're going to try it here now on this channel and see where we get with it. But so far I can see a blank fucking. So just bear with me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, don't play that video. See, this is what the newspapers do now. They make you, they put a video in. Right. So, showrunner Russell T. Davis has said it would be a miracle if you were able to reach the current series finale without details being leaked. In a joint interview along Ncuti, he told SFX magazine, "I just hope we can get from here to transmission without things being spoiled, because things do get spoiled, and all these things get spoiled to an extraordinary degree. We found one script. I'm going to say this. We found one script on an open server in Brazil." Let's see. It's nuts. That's what happens. Sex education star Ncuti then chipped in. I was going to say, oh my, I was in Brazil, but Russell quickly added, it wasn't you. Ncuti 31 was seen as the 15th Doctor at Christmas. So apparently the scripts are being leaked on servers in other countries, folks. Because, you know, the people that are running the show are absolutely incompetent right now. We got tired this time in the chat as well. So I'm pretty sure there are a few eagle-eyed Doctor Who fans from the UK, maybe from America, have got their hands on those scripts. And you know what? I'll just say it out straight. You know what? Fucking leak them. Leak them. Do you know what? It's exactly what he deserves, right? People need to know what's coming, right? Because if the ending is a shit show, then it's already sealed the fate of the show. But imagine that you don't have a tight-knit team, that there are actually people leaking scripts online. I mean, absolutely incredible. Incredible. Well, hold on. Just want to let them know that it started early, because as you know, I've already done a couple of, I'm just a little bit tired now, so I need to rest for the rest of the night. So this is why we're on now. So yeah, so that's the news that the Sun is reporting, that their scripts are being leaked online. If anybody knows anybody from Brazil who happens to know this person, imagine. I'm pretty sure we'll find it somewhere. Be interested to see what actually the finale is all about, wouldn't it? Because the title obviously does sound interesting, and as most people have pointed out, probably the most Doctor Who sounding episode. So, but unbelievable. Anyway, let's get into Ncuti. This stream won't be long anyway, because there's, you know, it's still the same interview, but there's been snippets and stuff like this, and he's done other interviews as well. So I want to cover this particular one because he's off again with his nonsense. And I was saying it on the other stream, you know, there seems to be this whole spiel with people that coming out and saying people are racist, that happen to be in very privileged positions while calling people racist, and say that people are racist against them, but they're in a privileged position. So if their argument actually held up, they wouldn't be in the position that they're in if everything is as racist as they make it out to be. But anyway, this is an article from Variety. Again, it's in the link description. All of these articles are in the link description. I'm just going to read, obviously, his quotes and what he's had to say, and then I'll give my opinion, and you guys in the chat can also give you our opinion. And then, yeah, hold on, this video. This is a video. See what I mean? They do this, so I want to make sure that the sound is off, which it is. See, I have it set so the sound goes on, the sound is off on this, so they don't catch us out. So Doctor Who regenerates, how Ncuti Gatwa's historical casting, RTD's return, and a Disney Plus deal revolutionized the franchise. It revolutionized jack shit. So Elsie Schaefer, already before I even read this article, I know it's going to be a pile of propaganda bullshit. They haven't revolutionized the franchise. In what way have they revolutionized it? Because they're throwing a lot more money at it, the effects look better. But what's revolutionary about telling the stories that they're telling, when the stories that they tell have absolutely no substance, character development, or anything? No, the franchise is revolutionized. So to even claim that it is, already I know this article is going to be bullshit. But anyway, let's read on, because that's what we do on this channel, isn't it? We read this bullshit, don't we? And when Ncuti Gatwa makes his first appearance as the 15th Doctor in science fiction series Doctor Who, he isn't wearing any pants. In the 60th anniversary special released in December, the previous Doctor, played by series icon David Tennant, subverts the show's long-standing practice of regeneration, simply of transforming into the next Doctor. He literally splits in half, bringing Gatwa's Doctor into the world alongside him, blah, 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 blah. Right? But in the process, the divide of clothes of Tennant's Doctor between them, leaving Gatwa in nothing but a dress, short, and a pair of tighty whiteys, blah, 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 blah. Right, let's get into the part here with Ncuti, so you got a little bit starstruck over Tennant. Okay, fair enough. That's great. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's a bit stupid. Let's see, since premiering, blah, blah, blah. Is this it now? No, he's talking about how Doctor Who, blah, 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 right? So I hate the way they do this with articles, right? Just get to the part where he said the shit that he said and stop putting all the irrelevant crap at the top, right? To make him out that he absolutely understands everything about this show. We know that he became a fan after the fact. And I have no issue with that, by the way. But don't be making him out that he knew everything about Doctor Who and all of this crap. He didn't. Here we go. Now Davis is back at the helm. Gatwa is making history as the first openly queer black actor to take on the role of the core Doctor. Do you know what? It makes perfect sense to me. Gatwa, who was born in Rwanda, raised in Scotland, says his casting, I feel like anyone that has a problem with someone who's not a straight white man playing this character, you're not really truly a fan of the show. And again, I predicted all of this. I did. I told you exactly what was going to happen, right? He was going to use the same rhetoric as Whittaker, the same playbook, except the words were just different. Okay? So you're not a fan of the show if you have a problem with Ncuti Gatwa playing the role. Now, let me make it explicitly clear here that I had no problem and still have no problem with the casting of Ncuti Gatwa playing the Doctor. What I do have a problem with is when he comes out with this bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. If people do have opinions on skin color when it comes to the Doctor, as far as I'm concerned, they're allowed to have those opinions once they're not being outright racists, right? But if they're given a logical, decent explanation or counter argument, there should be no issue there, right? But I want to make it clear that I haven't had a problem with his casting. I was excited until he opened his mouth. So he says, you've not been watching because the show is about regeneration and the Doctor is an alien. Why would they only choose to be this person? Same thing as Whittaker said when they cast the female Doctor. See, it's the same rhetoric, just different words now. And of course, Davis echoes that logic. They weren't exactly the straightest men in the past. A trailblazer of LGBTQ television, Davis created the original Queer as Folk in 1999, and then in 2021's It's a Sin, and about how Gatwa's doctor is different, he says, "You're talking about someone who does have a lightness and a joy about him that to me chimes with queer energy." It was really driving the story vehemently, but you will see moments exploring it. We're not delivering a neutered doctor. Sorry. He does know that this is Doctor Who and this isn't Queer as Folk or It's a Sin. I mean, he does get it, doesn't he? He does get the brief. I mean, RTD, you do get the brief, don't you? I mean, you can't be that stupid. I mean, come on. You really can't. Well, the Doctor's sexuality has never been labelled. In Gatwa's first episode as the lead, The Church on Ruby Road, which premiered as the traditional Doctor Who Christmas special, viewers seen him dancing in a kilt and referencing his long hot summer with Harry Houdini. And though Davis insists he didn't set out to be revolutionary in casting the next Doctor, we auditioned men, women, black, white, non-binary actors, and actors whose sexuality is their own private matter. Oh, yeah. Do you remember when they used to cast based on talent? He says, these are exactly the type of barriers I like to break. Well, hey, you're definitely going to break barriers, but it's not the barriers that you're going to break. You're going to break the lowest rated episodes of the whole fucking entire history of the show with this nonsense. I mean, the more these two open their mouth, right, the worse things are actually getting. Right, the worse it's getting. Right, it's absolutely, and then he just bangs on about the lockdown and all that crap there. And then we know about the reinvention. We don't need to talk about that because we've already covered that crap. But there you go. So if you don't like Ncuti Gatwa Doctor because he's got black skin, you're not a fan. You're not a fan of the show. Even if you come up with a logical argument or counter argument to that, folks, you're a racist, right? It's the same rhetoric I warned people about this. The day that RTD was announced, I even said this could go a certain amount of ways, and I gave the certain paths that it could go down, and I did predict this one. If it went down this, they'd use the same playbook as they did the last time. And I do have one of my panelists with me, and I know this is short notice and it's on the main channel. It's not a member stream today. As I said, because I launched the other channel yesterday, literally just yesterday or the other day, and it's at the blown up completely. I mean, it's doing its own thing right now. But I've been busy putting content up on that, and then all that stuff happened in Newtown, Mount Kennedy, and I've been covering that. So I totally forgot about the member stream today. So this is why we're here, and we're early because I'm clocking off soon because I've been on the go since 5 o'clock this morning. Well, I mean, I stopped at 5 o'clock, got a couple of hours sleep and back up again. So I'm actually feeling a bit rough. So my apologies to Brendan if he obviously, I hope I sent him a message to say we started early, but if he can't make it, I understand. But my apologies to you, Brendan. Sorry, I just, my head's been, obviously I'm all over the place right now because of all of the other stuff that's going on. But I do have Cinnamon Toast Crunch here, so I'll be interested to hear what his take is on obviously the script for the finale ending up on a server in Brazil. And obviously we're going to talk about Ncuti Gatwa's comments, and then we've obviously heard RTD's comments there as well. But before I bring Cinnamon on, right? I literally, right? I'm just laughing inside right now because the more they open their mouth, the more they keep pushing fans away. And you know what? I absolutely love it because it's the only way that this show is going to disappear off the face of the earth now. Because that's what it needs. It needs protecting. It needs protecting from so-called superfan or TDs, they called them in that article. He ain't no superfan, right? No fan be doing the shit that he's doing with the show. Trust me. And let's bring on my guest Cinnamon, and let's see what Cinnamon has to say on all of this absolute craziness from the two of them. So, I'm pretty sure you're like me. You don't have any issue with Ncuti Gatwa's skin colour. We never have. I think for both of us, we were just delighted to have a male doctor back in the role. But there have been people in the fandom, and I will be fair here, there have been people in the fandom that have had an issue with Ncuti Gatwa's skin colour, but they've made some very valid points, whether, you know, we agree with them or not. They've put their case forward. They haven't been racist about it. They've had their doubts, right? But now Ncuti and RTD is basically telling you that if you have a problem with the skin colour, you're a racist and you're not a true fan of Doctor Who. How do you respond to that when we've seen this act being used before by the previous Doctor, Cinnamon?
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day really. It's retreading old water. I think it's certainly the way you think about, or the way you look at it, and the way you approach it. Because if you were to say, I don't think a black man is capable of playing the Doctor, then yeah, I'd say that's racist. Whereas if you say as, oh well, the show's been, you know, had a white lead this majority of time, and we're now in a very highly politically, you know, society now, where, you know, things are being changed for the sake of it, or to fit a certain, you know, to virtue signal, to fit a certain, you know, to look good, which, you know, I'm a victim of virtue signaling, as I've actually recently found out, but I won't get into that too much. I'll tell you backstage. But, you know, so if you were to say, you know, why have you cast, you know, if you're just merely questioning it, is that enough? Are you scum of the earth? Are you that, you know, 1930s socialists, as certain YouTubers out there, you know, would throw around, you know, like confetti? You know, I've personally seen some pretty racist stuff from people, not necessarily in this chat, but, you know, or the streams, and I see a lot of what they say, and a lot of it is just unfounded and ridiculous. You know, if you've got an issue with the current era, you've got the issue with the current era. If you've got an issue with Ncuti, you have an issue with with what he says, and I take issue with some of what he says, but I treat him, you know, no differently to what I treat Geordie or to whatever, or to any man or any woman. You see, if you come out talking nonsense, you're talking nonsense regardless of who you are, in my view, anyway.
Yeah, it's just, look, as I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that there isn't, or there always hasn't been, a bit of a bad element to Doctor Who fandom. There has. I mean, Whittaker was cast, there was a lot of vile stuff aimed her way, which I even called out absolutely disgusting, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, there always is a small element, but for them to come out with such a damning statement before the show is about to air, well, if you have a problem with my casting of Ncuti, and Ncuti is basically saying, well, if you have a problem with me, then you haven't been watching the show, and you're not a fan of the show. And we've seen this play out before, and I don't know if Chris, if Ncuti or RTD have been paying attention, but the last showrunner and lead that did this sunk the show. So why in the hell would you now be using the same playbook the previous showrunner and the previous lead used? Obviously, the words have changed this time around, but it's the same play. Why are you playing the same card? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and deny that there isn't a level of racism that has been aimed towards them, but the majority of fandom that I know were just glad to see a male doctor back, and the skin colour was the last thing that anybody spoke about. The only people that keep banging on about skin color is the lefties. You know, when he was cast, oh, we got a black doctor, we got a black gay doctor, queer doctor, whatever you were talking about, right? And all of this rhetoric as well, right? He says that the doctor you know, the doctor won't be, this doctor won't be neutral or something was the word that he used. But he start talking like queer and terms like that in his rhetoric, RTD. Are we going to see Ncuti Gatwa's doctor? He says that they're going to explore it, but are we going to find out what Ncuti Gatwa's sexual is he going to be? Because Neil Patrick Harris, they say people outed him, and he absolutely did. But he also said the first gay doctor, right? He's playing the first gay doctor. Do you think that Ncuti Gatwa's doctor is going to be gay?
Well, I guess it depends on how that was phrased. Is it first gay doctor in terms of the actor or the actual character of the doctor? Neil Patrick Harris was in one episode? Is he privy to all the upcoming scripts and all the upcoming storylines? Is he even going to pay attention? I don't know. I mean, again, you are right. It's every little. They've been doing a lot of. Again, they've ramped up the promotion, so to speak, but it's all the wrong promotion. And every day there's always a new quote, there's always a new article, some new magazine, new clip. I mean, it's non-stop now. If it's quiet, you find a period where it's quiet, and then all of a sudden it all just comes at you all at once. And again, I saw a clip earlier of them all on this because they're all at this premiere thing. They're all on the Doctor Who bus going around London and watching this premiere at some theatre, and they're all promoting it and saying, "Oh, it's a whole new show." Oh yeah, I bet it is. I don't doubt that. I can absolutely believe you on that one. Just stuff like,
it seems like though to me.
Russell coming out and saying stuff like, "Oh, and it's not as if all my previous doctors were straight," the hopeful and they're optimistic and the joyful, whimsical sense of view on life. And I read that as wanted the word because some people find it offensive, but Q energy. So I mean, it's natural because confirmation bias and all that. If you see what you want to see, then you'll always see it. But are you seriously suggesting that being gay or optimistic or hopeful means you're gay? I mean, I know some people we're going to be smart asses and say, "Oh, well, the definition of gay is happy." Well, not really. That's a separate word with a separate definition. Two words can have different meanings, but it's nonsense. I mean, who's saying watch Christopher Eccleston thinking, yeah, giving me gay vibes there, isn't he? Northern. I mean, not Northern people can be gay, but come on, who sits there and watches series 1 or even if Tennant? Who looks at the Doctor and thinks sexuality? He's always predicted. We've discussed this before. Whether he actually is a sexual character.
Nobody did until RTD actually did introduce it. Though a lot of people have said, Chris Ballstrek has said it as well. He said it a long time ago. The RTD era, the first era, even though like a lot of us praise it, and the majority of it is good, there was a lot of seed sown in that era though. The whole romantic element came from RTD. Do you know what I mean? And the sexualization of the Doctor. Having the companion fancy the Doctor and see the Doctor as a sex symbol. The Doctor was never a sex symbol. Do you know what I mean? The Doctor shouldn't be a sex symbol.
Russell will say that none of his doctors are being particularly straight. Says the man literally wrote the whole Ten and Rose thing, the whole Ten and Martha thing, and then had to reiterate, had to make clear, for series 4 that no, we're just mates, Stunner and Ten, just mates, and even, in Moffat's era, Moffat was practically writing with one hand anyway. They might have seen jokes that are in that era. Not that I'm offended. I thought they were quite funny, but if you want to try and label the Doctor as anything, I mean, this is the problem. The fact that you coming out instead of actually promoting the show. Oh, what are the monsters going to be like? Oh no, we're going to talk about how not exactly straight our previous Doctors. It's just everything. It's just all the wrong promotion. I mean, I praised Ncuti what I Once Upon a Time because I thought, he was actually talking about the show. wasn't talking about so much about himself, but now it seems that it flipped a bit recently, and now he is talking about himself as some sort of victim. Again, it's with Geordie it was a whole white male gaze. With him now it's white mediocrity and all that. Again, as I mean, again, Ncuti's received nothing but praise and validation since he's walked through the door, even from himself. So I don't. Again, I'm kind of his biggest defender at the minute. Even though I don't like a lot of what he's saying, him as a person, until I've seen something that really disgusts me, I'm okay with him. Again, he's received nothing but praise and support, from the other side, and even some from our side. I like his doctor. I'm not sure what he wants me to say. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems we discussed this. Seems the closer it's getting, the more they want to push us away for some weird reason. If they're banking on this international audience, I mean, he's out gambling, and it's a gamble that's not going to pay off. But I mean, the Doctor was a grandfather when he started this journey of his, and he should be treating his companions and everyone he helps as such because of the huge age difference and life experiences, as Chris Persia. And I agree with that. But this new Doctor, Ncuti is playing, he's going to be a fun-loving whatever, right? I think he's going to play a camp as well. He's going to show his emotions quite a lot. He's going to be a very emotional, up and down Doctor, in your face Doctor. Now, that's not necessarily bad if it's done in moderation and it's done properly. Now, RTD did say something interesting in that article where he said that the focus won't be on these issues that he's going to be dealing with, but they're going to be highlighted in a way that it doesn't take over from the story. In fairness, though, Cinnamon, can we really trust that statement when we saw the first episode of Star Beast, where he started off, let's say, conservatively, but then ramped it up within a couple of fucking minutes? Can we actually trust RTD to do what he says he's going to do? The story is going to be the focus, but I will deal with these issues, but they won't become the main priority.
But if I haven't even seen that quote, so if that's true, then that's a good sign for me. I mean, yes, the Star Beast was probably the worst of the lot, but apart from there's a giggle, Well Blue Yonder, Churchill Ruby Road, I thought they were not very woke at all. If anything, that was kind of the thing about those particular stories. Again, I don't mind a certain element in it, as long as you're going to go somewhere with it, and not just use it as an excuse to whack someone over the head or to point, whack your finger at someone. If you've got an actual point for it being there, then use it. We all know that there's been elements of it in the past. That's fine. Green Death, they always, the same buzzwords. They all, when you engage on these people on X, you've got a whole checklist of them that they all recite off to you anyway. If you're going to go again, they are saying that they are going to bring up his race, which would make sense, for someone, if he is going to be this kind of extremely upbeat, charismatic, charming / arrogant, however you see it, kind of person landing in a certain time period. I can see why a lot of people, or people in that time period in the episode, are going to take offense to that, I guess. So I suppose it makes sense to address it in that way. But again, are you going to highlight it like you did with Martha, where you mentioned it in a line of dialogue, or then slightly mention it again, but more as a one-liner? Again, and they didn't have to sit down and have Martha have a breakdown because someone was rude to her or anything like that. You can address it, but then move on. If you've got a point to it, then fine. As long as it has a reason for being there, other than just there for the sake of it, because it really just come off as strong. And even if you're for all that stuff, even if you believe in all that stuff, you want that to take over the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could just go to any political march anyway. If you're interested in so much of that stuff, then go to conferences and stuff and get involved in stuff where that is concerned. This is Doctor Who. So, even if you're for all that stuff, surely as a fan, regardless of what political side you're on, you want to see the Daleks, don't you? Or do you want to see the messaging? Again, even if you're for all that stuff, is that what you want? you want that over the time travel? Do you want that over the fun? Or do you want stories? Because that's what all of us have been saying for the past however many years. Oh, but when we say, oh, we're scum of the earth, we're the worst people you could possibly imagine, not my doctors, all that, buzzwords, tick, tick, tick. Again, water for ducks back at this point, but, it's common sense, really. We just want Doctor Who. That's all I want. I want to watch it and, enjoy what I watch. They keep banging on about how Doctor Who needs to be is a beacon of light, whatever that article was before, how it needs to be hopeful. It's a show of light in a world of darkness. But then put your money where your mouth is and make it happy, make it fun. I don't want to watch it, feeling like dejected. I feel like, oh, I wish I never bothered. Then what's the point?
Yeah, it's. I just don't get the logic of any of this, Cinnamon. I mean, you're close to launching, the new era of Doctor Who. Disney have batches. There's a lot of hopes pinned on this, and you've got then the showrunner and the lead sabotaging every step of the way, and it just makes absolutely no sense unless they kind of figured that it's not worth watching, so we might as well bleed and do everything to upset them all and distract them from the fact that it's absolutely rubbish, which that's what makes me believe is happening here, because they tried the same tactic with Whittaker. It was so bad, so instead what they did was they just attacked the fans and called them names, and then the media then piled on with their articles. And as we've already seen, the media are already ramping up the whole, oh, if you don't like Ncuti Gatwa, you're racist. Well, listen, I'll make it clear. If I don't like Ncuti Gatwa, it's not because I'm racist. It's because he couldn't keep his mouth fucking shut and he was coming out with fucking nonsense. He's there and he's paid to act. And for someone that's coming out and playing the race card and the victim and the me, as I call them, right? If the industry is so racist as he says it is, and the whole world's as racist as it is, well, how come you're in a position of privilege, right? And you've got one of the biggest shows, or you are part of one of the biggest shows, or was one of the biggest shows on television in Doctor Who, right? Now, it may have been the case back in the day that they didn't want to cast, a black person in the role. But that doesn't mean because they didn't do it in the past, that today in the present we're all racist, and we should all be thankful, we should be all feel guilty because the industry that you're a part of happened to be a bit racist back in the day. It was also sexist as well. BBC was highly sexist back in the day. There were issues in the past which we have moved on and improved on to get to a point where you're able to talk from your little ivory tower, right? So don't be coming out with your racist shit to me, right? When you've got the biggest job in British television, it was one of the biggest jobs. It might be again, you never know. But you've got Doctor Who. You did the sex education before that. You've probably done other stuff, okay? Yasmin Finney is the same. All of these people that are supposed to be oppressed and all of this, in very, very privileged positions right now, working on BBC's biggest sci-fi show. That's the way I'll put it. Their biggest sci-fi show, right? And you're screaming racism, you're screaming transphobia. Do you know what? You can go and swivel on it, as far as I'm concerned, right? You're listening to me? You can swivel on it. Sicky is our bullshit. Sicky is our victim playing. I'm sick of your me mentality when you're in a position of fucking privilege and now you're shouting down at the rest of us and telling us that we're the racist. Right? I'm going to say it out straight. Ncuti Gatwa, you're the racist. You're the racist. Okay? And for the rest of you as well. And by the way, Jinx Monsoon, right? When Jinx Monsoon's episode, watch out for the interviewers, because Jinx will be just as insufferable as the rest of the assholes that are in this show. Right? Right? Be coming out with strength phobia. That's what that yoke will come out with. Right? Okay? Every actor that works on this show, right, is either trans, non-binary, or some other fucking identity. Right, I'm actually, do you know what? I'd actually like to know how many straight people are actually working on this show. right, are actually in the cast of this show. There's not many. They've completely changed the dynamic of this whole show. They've overcompensated for something that's not even there. Right, they're all oppressed. Get the fucking boat. Everybody is oppressed nowadays, right?
It's
Yeah,
a bit hard to be oppressed being the most protected group in probably the world right now.
that's what I mean.
If you're in Scotland, if you dare say anything online, there'll be a.
Oh well, the Scottish government's fallen, so I mean,
but even just in general, life, we are protected. Everyone, you see it every month, the Pride Month, every company that you can think of will change their colours. Right now they're the most protected group, and like you say, they're getting roles here. I don't really care who's writing or acting in the show as long as they're good for the character that they're portraying.
Yeah, but the problem is though.
Yeah, I know.
When you're just casting based off certain criteria, but you're not doing the casting based off actual talent. I mean, again, it seems rather strange. Has anybody not seen a correlation here, right? Chibnall says that Jodie Whittaker was the last person in the audition room, right? And Ncuti was the last person in the audition room, and both showrunners claimed that they absolutely blew them away with their audition. But yet, we never seen any footage or anything or any of the other actors and actresses that they claimed to have interviewed for the job never came forward, right? We even found out Hugh Grant was originally wanted. They wanted him to be the Ninth Doctor, and it never materialized because his agent didn't think he'd want to do it, and now that's a regret because Hugh Grant said he would have loved and jumped at the opportunity, and that would have been a very interesting Doctor. Got to be honest now, but we hear all of these tales. Even with Matt Smith's cast, there was other people in the line, and even names were dropped. Have you noticed we haven't seen any names dropped of the people that apparently auditioned along with Ncuti or with Jodie Whittaker, except for Olivia Colman, of course, was the exception.
With the Seventh Doctor, we literally have footage of all the auditions. We saw Sylvester's audition. Then there was two other guys, one had like a mustache. So we knew who those people were. I don't know them because it's not my era, but we can find out who exactly auditioned for that. Maybe that was just a one-off, I don't know. But we also have Paul McGann's audition tape. I mean, there's been a few exceptions, of course. I know Tom was on a building site, and then I think Barry Letts personally phoned him up and what have you. But we've seen auditions before. All we got told was one of the people auditioning for the 15th Doctor, one of them was non-binary. I don't know how that would go down. It just seems, again, was any straight people considered? Again, this quote of you got lots and lots and lots and lots. It's practically silly. Like, you can have your representation if you really want it. I don't care if there's a trans character in the show. Yeah, if you make it all about that, then obviously I have a slight problem with it. If you're going to make that your whole identity rather than be an actual human being, if that's what you identify, or maybe you don't identify as a human being. I don't know. Maybe I'm being facetious. I probably am, but it's when I see these books as well, these books that they've released, I'll get them. I'll get these books. They look cool. They've got a nice cover. I don't know which version. I'll get the audio book or the actual hardback. But again, 3 women. One of them is black. Okay, fine. Okay, you've got some casting. You've got a lot of gay people. Got a lot of gay actors. Okay, fine. It's just you can't have a go at people when we start to see patterns. You can have whoever you want in the show, but when it's only that, then we start to, you've had Neil Patrick Harris, you've got Jinx Monsoon, God knows, if you all of them, there is a pattern there, and it's understandable that people are going to go, well, and then you'll get the comments where was there any straight people in it, and like, well, yeah, it's a fair comment. You can't get pissy with people and start looking down on them, and again punching down, which happens a lot in fandom. It's like attacking people and declaring, well, you're not a fan of the show. Well, why is it to you to tell me what I'm a fan of? oh, the show's not for you. No, the show wasn't for you. If you're the one that's banging on about race, and you're the one that's taking this show into a completely whole different direction. See, I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. I thought I was watching this show for fun, or for sci-fi, for adventure, not how it was in the good old days. You were the ones that took it and made it something else. You're the ones that came into fandom and made it all about, about inclusivity and representation was the number one factor in life, and we all got to adhere to it. It's silly. I mean, like I say, it's everywhere. It's the most protected group, like I mentioned. There's no getting around that. They are. It's just, like Nicholas has said there, we want good stories, character development. Again, I just want to watch Doctor Who. Is that too much to ask? That's all I want. You can have whoever is in it. You can have whatever. Again, I even just said 5 minutes ago, whatever it was. You can have your little messages in there because it's been in there in the past. But it's how you handle it. You're going to do it, slap it in the face with a big sledgehammer, or you're going to, try and broaden my mind. Are you going to tell me what something is, or are you going to try and explain something, open, leave it to the viewer to make their own mind? Or
exactly, or leave it to the viewers. That's the most critical thing that you've said there out of all of that there, right there. And that's what RTD is missing. You should always leave it to your audience to make up. The audience is smart enough. Well, the audience that the show used to have was smart. So I wouldn't say the audience we have now is very bright. I mean, it's that bad that they actually had to, Jodie Whittaker's doctor had to actually explain on screen what was going on. For the rest of us, that was just like absolute nonsense. Like, why are you explaining the plot for us? There's a lack of plot, but we know what's going on. So why are you explaining it to the rest of them? Oh yeah, that's right, because you've done the show down so much that you need to explain to the people that have never watched the show before what's going on. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I will say this: Ncuti is absolutely not doing himself any favors now, and neither is RTD. But look, bottom line is there's still a few more weeks. How long have we got now? When is the show dropping? We're 26th of April now. When does it drop?
11th of, well, for us, it'll be 11th of May.
7th of May, isn't it, or something like that?
11th.
Hold on. Where's the calendar on this stupid phone? I'm pretty sure Cheryl has it bookmarked. May 15th.
11th.
I'm pretty sure someone in the chat will know the date. But we're only 2 weeks away. About 2 weeks away, someone said. Right. So, I mean, look, it has to improve from here on in now. But I would suggest, if there's a PR team there, whoever's in charge of that PR team needs to just get a handle on all of this now, and stop them from spewing that nonsense. But May the 10th in North America. So there you go. So the 10th of May. So we're not actually that far away, folks. And there'll be a lot more stuff. Now I have stuff to cover next week in relation to what?
Right? Too many people have got too much to say for themselves at the minute.
Yeah.
It's just shut up, and what were you for always Doctor Who? We're interested in what you say about Doctor Who, but again, these people just not understand their audience, because again, while they're living it up in their ivory tower, most of us are just trying to get away. I've been pretty stressed these past couple of weeks, dealing with my job and money and everything about that. I just want to escape. Is that too much to ask? I guess it is, I suppose. But I want to have some fun. It's my, I always say, I think I say it, but apart from my family, Doctor Who is the thing I love the most, and I'm very protective of it. So again, I'll say this again for however many time. We criticise because we care. We're not just trolls and bigots who just hate for hate's sake. Maybe some few people are, but the majority moan and we complain and we whine because we care. Okay, maybe sometimes it's a little bit of entitlement, but you know, we're passionate about it, and you can't. I don't think attacking fans and judging people and looking down on people, attacking viewers, but attacking again, making it a whole culture war. It's obviously a culture war going on. So stop adding fuel to it. Be the bigger person.
Yeah, well, I won't be engaging with any lefty in this fandom this time round, so they can come after me all they want with their little videos and stuff. I'm ignored now. As I said, my focus is going to be on RTD and what he's actually produced, and that's what should be the focus. I'm not going to get distracted by certain individuals like Mr. Teabag or whoever else is offended by any opinion that I have on this show. The bottom line is, and I'll say it again, make it clear, I had no problem with Ncuti Gatwa's casting. I was actually excited. But now that he's opened his mouth and he continues to open his mouth and call everybody racist, right, I'm starting to dislike the chap. So what he needs to do from now until the show airs, he needs to keep his mouth shut. But we know that's not going to happen, unfortunately, because now they're on this promotional tour. But rather than promote Doctor Who like they should be, Ncuti Gatwa's coming out playing the race card, saying anybody that doesn't like his cast and all this is racist and all of this other shite. And then the media, then when the show actually then hits, conceivably, the ratings completely drop off a cliff, then the media will come out with the propaganda and then blame fans for being racist for not liking this show. So, they need to shut up. It's as simple as that. And if he doesn't shut up, I can guarantee you by the time that the show comes around, right, there'll just be people there to watch out a spite just to go on then and absolutely destroy it, right? It's as simple as that. And they've only got themselves to blame for it. So there you go. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, I mean, look, he keeps Archibald Lazarus. He just keeps coming out with bullshit after bullshit. Same with
again, like I said before, I do like him. I do like the bloke. From when he talks about Doctor Who, he's usually spot on. And and again, when we first cast him, I praised him and said, you know what, he's actually focusing on the show, and he's not making it about himself. No, now he is, and coming out and saying stuff like, "Oh, you male gammons," which it is. Racist. I had a few people come at me on Twitter, but it is. It's literally an insult. Whether it's it's an insult often used in politics to describe a certain group, which is white men. Again, it's funny because the same people will say, "Oh, it's a new level of stupidity to say it's a hate crime." Well, it's funny because imagine if this was the other way around, and Ncuti was a white person, and he used a political word to describe a bunch of black people who voted a certain way. He would be hounded to high hell. I mean, we saw the reaction Matt Smith gets for simply saying that he thinks trigger warnings is a little bit silly, which is entitled to that opinion. I mean, it's funny because I just think, it's a cliche, or if it was the other way, it was my uncle kind of thing, but it works every time. Because again, if Ncuti was white and he said that about a bunch of black people, or it was any other doctor or any other actor, they'll be lighting their pitchforks as we speak, and they'll be paying for blood. So again, it's the double standard that gets me. And it's just, again, little daft comments like that. Just don't help yourself. Don't help yourself. Coming out and saying stuff. Again, I guess it's just part of your charm and your personality. But coming out and saying stuff again like, "Oh, I love to defeat a monster by doing death drops and shake my ass at a Dalek." You're giving more ammunition to the people who generally don't like you, and again, you're not helping yourself. I am probably your biggest supporter on this channel. I can probably vouch for that. I absolutely want Ncuti to succeed because as a human, I think he's a good person, and I think Russell's a good person. I generally do believe that. I just think they get so wrapped up in their own worldview that they often can't see that there's a person actually on this other side. It's so often in politics that you use such dehumanizing language of other people who just simply disagree with you. And it's okay to disagree. Russell, you're in your 60s. I'd have thought you'd know that by now. And same for Ncuti. You're what, 30? I'm 21. I don't go around thinking people are scum because they disagree with me or thinking you're just a racist troll, get a new hobby. Well, that's it,
man. The both of them need to grow the fuck up. RTD is old and bald enough now and has enough life experience. You know, it's time to grow up. You know what I mean? And as for Shooty, yeah, you know, he's a younger actor. You know, if you have the showrunner who's older, you know, telling you about his life experiences and then telling you his views on these sort of things, then it's going to rub off on the actor. And, you know, because Shooty before then was very measured, I thought, in all these responses. But now he's just come out with a sledgehammer, a wokey sledgehammer. That's the biggest one I've ever seen. And he's just absolutely, in 3 interviews, ruined his whole entire reputation with the fandom. And that's how big this is. He doesn't realise you've ruined your reputation now with the fandom. Those fans that were open-minded to your doctor are now not going to be open-minded. So well done and congratulations for that. And RTD, you are mostly responsible here because you're the guy that's supposed to have a rein on things. But with the way you seem to be running things behind the scenes, and we seen how you ran things behind the scenes in 2005 as well, you know, it seems to be chaotic all the time. And I wouldn't be surprised in years to come we find out stories of the shenanigans that went on behind the scenes. But look, we're going to leave it there because I've been streaming. It's been a long day. And I'm actually I'm struggling here. So we've covered what we need to. But obviously, you know, this stream went out a little bit earlier. I have explained to Brendan. I don't know if he was actually coming on tonight because he has other things that he's dealing with himself. So, but if you were, I do apologise, and I just want to make a public record of that. I just got so distracted with everything that I've been doing that I actually forgot it was supposed to be a member stream. But you know what? This has been a rare occurrence for everybody. So this is the type of thing that we do on our Friday nights. Of course, we do have Brendan with us as well. And we really do get down and dirty on all of this. We don't shy away from our opinions anyway. But what I'll do is I'll get Cinnamon to do his promotion. I see PD Rich is already on it as usual because he's a legend. And then I'll give a few shout outs and then we'll leave it there for the evening.
Well, yeah, like PD Rich is already on the fingers on the buzzer. He's already put it in the chat. But yeah, if you want to follow more from me, I am planning on doing a stream soon. I normally do it on Saturdays, don't I think. I haven't done for a while, but you know, I'm going all the way to Cardiff tomorrow. So maybe I'll, for the football match, because we're playing Cardiff away, maybe I'll pop down and see Shooty and Russell and give him a word. I know Russell's in Swansea, but you know, give him a piece of my mind. But if you want to follow me on Twitter as well, then it's under the same name, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Fantastic. And I want to give obviously Scott Stavros and friends wrestle with pop culture, the Gobster Talks things. I don't know if he actually calls it that now or he's changed it again, but the Gobster Talks things. Problem Beans channel, Ball Stretch channel as well. He should be back. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Who else have we got? We got Sean from the Nerdaholics as well. We got Jack Main as well. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel as well. And there's probably, I could see that PD is putting them in there. So if there is any, because it's a long list now. So if there's anybody we have missed, I'm pretty sure the lads are on it in the chat there. Our wonderful moderators that always keep the chat nice and clean and safe for everybody. So I want to say thank you. But I'm going to wrap up there, guys. I've been gone since, as I said, since this morning. It's been a long one, but you get those. But you know what? The best thing is it's the weekend now, so I can relax until Sunday night. So I've had a chat with the lads and we've come up with a plan. So Sunday nights, members, we're going to do our movies on, and we still have to do Beverly Hills Cop. So that is the movie this Sunday night. So if you want to come and join us after a long week and a long weekend, and you want to chill out for a couple of hours, we're going to be watching Beverly Hills Cop. So come and join us. That's for members. And of course, we're coming to the end of the month as well. So there should be memberships available as well coming up as well. So look out for them. We drop 10 memberships a month thanks to YouTube. So we'll be able to give out some more memberships there. So, okay, guys, thank you for joining me. I will see you for the next one. I really do appreciate all the support on both channels now. The relaunch has been a dream. It couldn't have went listen, I just can't believe so to give you context, before I did the relaunch, I had 483 subscribers or something. We're past 800 now. So in 12 hours, in 24 hours, I've gained 400 subscribers. So anybody from this side that's subscribed to my other channel, I just want to thank you very much for the support. And again, to all the people that follow me on these channels, I just want to thank you, because I know without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And I do really appreciate all the support. I don't want you ever thinking that I don't. I do. And, you know, I just want to say that I'm grateful, really, and thank you very much. And I'll see you for the next one. So enjoy your weekend. Stay safe and look after yourselves. And I'll talk to you for the next one. Bye-bye.